and Candice Roach.
And I'm sure you guys remember us from Hustle and Sew. Woo woo! So we wanted to basically do a very long overdue video, which is to talk about what we are doing now and also talk to this young lady right here about what happened during the Pink Teacup Hustle and Sew days, because a lot of people literally tag us online every 3 days in a Hustle and Sew clip. And so people are like, why didn't she fight back? Why did she do this? Why did she do that? So I'm like, you know what? It's about time that we came together, and we're social distancing, as you guys see. That's why it's this space. But we wanted to make sure that that didn't hold us back from coming here today and basically talking to you guys about what we have going on now and to talk to her about those days in the Hustle and Sew. So Candice, I'm sure everybody wants to know what happened during the Hustle and Sew days, and why did that girl that we are going to call Arsenio Hall, no names, why did Arsenio Hall feel like she could put her hands on you, and why did y'all always have beef to begin with?
To be honest, can I be honest?
Girl, be as honest as you can be.
Okay, to be honest, there was no beef before the show. Like, none at all. Not 1 ounce of beef at all.
What?
Yeah, I think what really happened was when I got glammed up for this show, I think they thought, you know, I was just like, Candice is just a little, you know.
Like you acting brand new. Like,
well, not necessarily acting brand new, but I think they didn't know how well I would glow up beauty-wise. Because I'm not the beauty person here. You're the beauty.
No, you're the beauty.
Sana's the real beauty. But
you're the beauty.
I never...
Ebony and Ivory, okay? Don't you forget it.
I never really got, you know, glamorized or whatever. So I actually suffered from a lot of insecurity issues, believe it or not. So when the show came and they had the professional makeup artists, they made me look really, really pretty. And I just honestly think, you know, what do you call her? Arsenio Hall? I think Arsenio Hall and, you know,
Juice.
Ike and seen Arsenio Hall. But, you know, I think Anna and Lawrence, I think they kind of were shocked, like, oh, wait a minute. Because, you know, people say I have a great personality. So, okay, she has a great personality. And she's starting to look good now. And I think that just threw it all off. And I honestly think that's where, I hate to use this word, I'm not trying to say anybody's jealous of me, but I think that's where the...
Keep it real, honey, because basically what I believe that she's really trying to emphasize is the fact that they were used to her just being chill, coming to work, being a bartender, being lovey-dovey. She didn't really emphasize her beauty because she was doing a regular job. But once she got on camera and they saw her glowing up and they saw that everybody was loving her, because let me tell you, Candice killed it, especially for season 1. Hilarious, sweet, like everything. And I believe that they weren't expecting her to come on board and be this great star. And I think that they got mad at that because they truly believe that they owned us. Even though we worked for them and then the station came in and put us on TV, they really thought that they was doing us a favor. So because we weren't like basically kissing their ass or like doing whatever they wanted us to do, I think that they started to hate us low-key. But they really hated her because they knew her, they knew how long she was working there, they expected her to cater to them, and you didn't. And then they tried to lie about you with Lauren. So for everybody that's listening, because they've been saying, oh, Candice really loved Lawrence, there's no way, please tell the people the real relationship between you and LP.
Okay, I'm going to give you the truth and the people the truth again. Okay, so I'm really big on entrepreneurial, you know, people and things. I've been an entrepreneur for years. I actually worked in television when I was younger. My mom was my momager. So I wasn't really new to television. I was brand new to reality TV, but I wasn't new. I worked on Boomerang. I worked in Parent Magazine. I worked in Huggies commercials. Like, my mom was really hustling, you know, from Harlem, from Brooklyn. She was just trying to get her daughter out there. So I was really new to reality TV, and whenever I meet like a black person or just anybody in general doing their thing and just grinding, I have a lot of respect for them. So when I started working for Lawrence, I'm like, wow, this is a black man. He's owned different restaurants. He's also worked in
being a black woman per usual, supporting the black man.
He worked in restaurants. He had restaurants even from when he was 19 years old. I had to give him credit. He had restaurants in Manhattan. He had restaurants in Brooklyn. He had restaurants in Harlem. So I'm like, wow, I I'm aspiring to be like him. Running a restaurant is hard. So I just looked up to him like a big brother. I never knew that he was with Lawrence that he was with Anna, because he did try to hit on me like he does a lot of women.
As you guys saw.
When I first started working there, but I found out like the first week that Anna was in fact his boo thing. So actually after that I said, you know what, I just admire him like a big brother, and that's about it. So the show accentuated the relationship we had, and it made it look like it was a little bit more than what it actually was.
Yes. So why do you feel like people thought you were obsessed with him? Because I'm not going to lie, even when I started to see y'all relationship, I started to question, do you guys actually have, to be very honest, a sexual relationship, or are you guys generally just friends? But I'm like, why can't you actually just be a black woman that supports a black man to the nth degree and it not be sexual? So how did that make you feel with people always basically saying, like, you gotta be doing it with this man, you gotta be bumping and grinding? Like, how did that make you feel?
Well, first of all, I want to let everybody know that I didn't value myself, right? At all. I did not know that. I valued other people, him being one. I was idolizing him, but you should never idolize anybody. But I was idolizing him and all the things that he can do, and not realizing all the things that I can do as a woman. So I think that's the thing. When you're idolizing someone to that degree, I think it looked like she can't be, it can't just be a friend thing, you know what I mean? Because I think I idolized him to a point of some sort of a romance, but not physical, kind of like just too much idolization, because I was lacking self-esteem within myself. So it can look like that to the viewers, and then editing is another thing, to make a story juicy, let's edit it up. So times when he was saying things to me, it was hurting my feelings, because I really in real life idolized him. But also that was because of the lack of the self-esteem and the courage that I should have had within myself that I now have, okay?
Hello, talk about glow up.
So that was one, but in all honesty, just to clear it up, just to say it again, we've never had a romantic situation. We've never ever did anything sexual. And I'm a grown-up. I'm an adult. If I did something, I did it. I'll say it. I'll talk to young girls and tell them what they should or shouldn't do. But with this particular gentleman, Lawrence Page, we've never, ever, 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 ever had anything sexual at all.
And I believe my girl. So for all you haters out there who've basically been saying that there's no way she didn't have sexual relationships with that man, I'm letting you know that I believe my friend. Now let's get into
and I'm open to do lie detector tests too.
Ooh, she is open to do a lie detector test, people.
Yes.
So that means that if you wanted to put her on the line to see if she's telling the truth, that she can do it. So I want to get into, because we literally, when I say we get tagged on social media and the very dramatic altercations and hustle and soul, we get tagged. And so every time I see the fights, I'm just like, oh my gosh, I wish you would have just, but I'm not for domestic violence, and neither am I for woman-on-woman violence. I'm not for any type of violence, but if somebody puts their hands on you, you have every right to make sure that you handle that person correctly in the right way. And as you guys saw when, Beetlejuice tried to jump on me, we have to do what we have to do. I don't promote it, but I'm going to always, always, always defend myself. Now, for all the people who always ask us on social media or ask you, why did that girl hit you and drag you so many times? Candice, you had a lot of mouth during the show.
I didn't have a lot of mouth.
You had a lot of mouth.
Lawyer.
So maybe you should have. Why did this girl have the opportunity to pounce on you and you literally did not fight back?
Right. First of all, I want to say, doesn't everybody love Sana? She is so funny. She really, really is. Beetlejuice. But great.
Am I lying?
Great question. Well, first off, I didn't even know that the show was really going to be about that, so I never was prepared because there was no real beef. The beef that came about as we were airing, so I was really like green in the whole situation. That was one. Two, I never had energy like to fight back, and I found out afterwards I was severely anemic. I had to get rushed to the hospital. If anybody knows about anemia, you know you have absolutely no energy. Like literally Sana could come and throw me on the floor now, but if I was still sick, but I'm not sick anymore. So every every time Anna attacked me, I just never had enough strength, even when I tried to. And I never was really angry enough. I never had that anger in me. I was really excited to just be doing the project. Like, I come from a background of real TV, real scripted, with where you get a script and you have to study the script type of show. Now, a lot of people don't know this, and I want to point this out, and Sana knows this. After I say it, she knows it. But in our contracts and just being professionals, it's stated there is no cast on cast and no group fighting. Now, this is an industry that, one, I've been in, two, I'm going to stay in, three, I'm going to continue to work in, and I want other people to look at that show again and see, yes, it was embarrassing. I was totally humiliated. It took me like a long time to get over it. I was having, you know, self-esteem issues again after going through a lifetime of self-esteem issues, but now I know I'm fabulous. But, you know, I was totally humiliated, but it was a lesson learned out of that. But I wanted to be respected as a professional on television. I know Sana wanted that too. Yes. So in the beginning, yes, I wish I would have been strong enough and had the energy to take Anna and do what I needed to do to protect myself. However, I had to learn how to rise again, love myself again. And you know what? I don't know how this is going to work out, but I know I'm going to have a career in this industry, continue to have it. And I know when other producers and directors look at that, they'll see she was actually, in fact, attacked, and she did not fight back. And hopefully they'll say, you know what, she can definitely work on our set. Very true. Because if it says in the contracts, no cast on cast fighting, I never did any cast on cast fighting. Even though you're always supposed to protect yourself, but I didn't do it. I wish I did, but I didn't. But I know there was a lesson to be learned, and I'm happy because I will continue to work in this industry. Yes, 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 yes. I love that. I love that. I was very sad and angry for you because I knew that they were trying to dampen your glow. Right, to humiliate you. They were trying to make it work. Yeah, they were trying so hard to make you so angry that you would not want to come back to the show. Right. Because when I say, and as you guys have seen with the show, this girl's the star. And she made being on Hustle and Soul so hilarious, so funny. And I knew for a fact that because they saw the amount of attention she was getting, knowing that she kind of came through them, that's what they thought in their minds, they were mad that she was blowing up like this on them, that she was becoming the star from what they would perceive as their platform. So I truly believe because of that, they wanted to dampen her glow, and they wanted her to eventually quit. And so that is what ended up happening. There, you know, there were so many things that people were upset about. She was uncomfortable with how production and the network was basically dealing with the situation, because it did say in our contract, no cast on cast fighting. So the fact that they were able to get away with it numerous times, even you, if somebody was always coming for you, somebody was always attacking you, you'd be upset and you want something to happen and you want something to be done. But if nobody's doing anything from the top, then you gotta eventually make the decision of like, do I want to continue with this or do I want to step back from it? So for me personally, that's why I left after season 2, because I was like, this show has become so violent. I'm tired of seeing a woman-on-woman fighting. I'm tired of seeing my friend fighting. I'm tired of seeing this trio of devils basically glowing up in the world, and they don't deserve it. And so I was like, you know what? They're not going to glow up on my behalf. They're not going to glow up on my story. So I left after season 2. Is there anything that you want to talk about when it comes to, like, you know, the reason why you didn't come back season 3? After season, thank you for that. After got you boo. After Sana was a star too. Okay, don't be fooled. This is the makeup queen. No, this is the makeup queen right here. Do not get it twisted. This is skincare queen. This is makeup queen right here. She's awesome. They made me look good. She used to come makeup ready on set, on deck. Thank you. I've been in this industry for a very, very long time, so thank you. I appreciate that. But yes, why didn't you come back for season 3? Yeah, after season 2, the last time I got, you know, kind of dragged, as y'all want to call it, I just was like done. Actually, speaking of quitting, I quit in the middle of production, which you should never do, but I got broken down, you know what I mean? I got broken down, so I kind of quit, and you know. This was season 2. This was season 2, okay. And I took like 45 days off, and they still needed more footage from me, and I just was like, I'm not doing any more footage and things of that nature, and I didn't, and then they called me in to do some last, after 45 days, I kind of calmed down and I was like, you know what, let me fulfill my contract and let me complete it. But it was a lot of violence and it was just too much for me. But in all fairness, I want to say thank you to WEtv, me and Sana. I want to say thank you to WEtv.
Yes, for the opportunity. I can never, ever, like I don't regret the decision to be on the show. But we're saying.
Right. Thank you to WEtv. Thank you to Big Fish Entertainment. They brought nothing but professionalism to the situation. It was just other people that I guess were not bringing, they
weren't professional, right? That's all what it is. They were not professional. They were idolizing other reality TV shows and other reality TV show characters, trying to be them, not realizing that their platform was different. So that's why they are now canceled, as you were saying.
Right. So I think we could have had a long show. I think we could have been on air for like 10 years.
Yeah, I think so too.
A lot of us had a lot of different things going on in our lives then and now. I decided not to go back for season 3. One, because they stopped shooting in New York. They went to Miami and I just wasn't willing to go to Miami. And then also, it was like, where was my storyline going to go? I was totally disconnected from the pink teacup. After someone puts their hands on you like that, you're never going to, if you, in your right mind, you're never going to go back to a situation like that. I was totally embarrassed and humiliated on national television. So I said, I'm just not going to go back. But I want to point out that if anybody ever feels embarrassed publicly, privately, just continue to keep going. There's another entity trying to stop you from what you're really supposed to be doing. But you know what? You have to show that other entity that you are going to keep going regardless. You understand? I think I took too much time being upset, being hurt, feeling humiliated. You got to get up and keep going. T.D. Jakes says and states that God promotes you to the level of pain that you're able to tolerate. That's emotional, that's mental, that's physical. Be strong in your spirit, okay? I was broken down, I was beaten down, and I did take a step back, you know what I mean? But maybe I should have went to Miami. Maybe I should have shot season 3. Maybe I should have said, you know what, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to show the world and everybody I can get up after being humiliated and keep going. Keep pushing, even if it feels hard, even if you feel totally embarrassed and humiliated. Do not deter from what God has for you. Do not deter from what the universe has for you. Or if you don't believe in any of that, do not deter what you know that you deserve and that's owed to you, regardless of who's trying to knock you down, because it will happen. So that's the lesson that I learned, and I want you guys to know that too.
Yes, I love that. I absolutely love that. And although I walked away because of the violence, I also knew that I wasn't trying to go to Miami where I didn't have any connections to anywhere. I didn't know if these people were going to get crazier and pop off even more, and I wasn't trying to be in a state that I don't have like family members or whatever case may be. So it just wasn't the right move for me. I'm glad that I did enjoy it because we didn't get canceled. We left. But no shade. I know that once, as you were saying, I'm super grateful for WEtv for picking up the show, for seeing us as characters, because what you guys don't know is there were other characters that did the pilot with us that didn't make the actual show. Because even though you do the pilot, the network can say, we don't want her in the show. Right. So I'm grateful for the network saying that they wanted us. I'm grateful for Big Fish for taking the opportunity to put us on television. It was an amazing experience. It's something that we have now been able to learn to take to our next level of life. But I just wish that someone from the top would have put their foot down just a little bit harder when it came to the violence. Like, I understand reality TV needs drama, I understand storylines, I understand all that stuff, but when people are literally getting locked up, when people are literally getting hurt because of a TV show, somebody somewhere got to put their foot down and say, like, guys, we're going a little too left. And so that's the only thing that I wish the station would have done, because if they would have done that and everybody would have just calmed down just a little bit more, we would have still been on TV. I think we would have been in probably season 5 by now. We would have been killing it. Like, I don't mind screaming and yelling and being a little bugetto just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind. But what I do not tolerate, and I would never tolerate, is somebody putting their hands on me and think that it is okay to do so for ratings. Like, you would never use me as your guinea pig ever in this life. So,
and I'm glad you said that. So now I'm going to ask you a question, because yes, boo. I'm so glad you said that. So I want you to tell everybody, because you handled yourself in real life. You know, people think TV life, but in real life and on the show, you handled yourself so graceful. And we was involved in a lot of, mishap, and it was a lot of conflict, but you just managed to always keep a graceful kind of composure, even after you had to knock, Thandi, she jumped up to get knocked down, as they say, but you rightfully had to protect yourself, right? But what is it about you as a person that you're able to go on that set, take that amount of energy that was coming your way as well, and still keep this graceful grace and class about you and not break down? I've never seen you break down. She's seen me break down hundreds and hundreds of times. I've never seen Sana break down ever. She's so graceful and so strong.
Thank you so much. First of all, I will give you a hug, but it's Corona. But thank you so much for saying that. That means a lot to me. That really touches me. I honestly, the grace comes from knowing that God is sufficient. That's first and foremost. I am always a work in progress. There used to be a time period where I was very angry. I was very aggressive. I was very I wasn't the sweetest person to be around, and I saw the relationships and the friendships that were not really working out because of it. So I had to change myself. And in changing myself, when I say literally, the year before filming Hustle and Soul, I converted from Islam to Christianity. Yes, I converted to Christianity in August 2015. I actually tried to talk about that on the show, but they weren't trying to get this realness from people. And so because of me converting to Christianity, there was a different kind of grace that I was on. And so I couldn't go on national television knowing that my future plans is to be somebody, and I'm sitting on this show and on this platform being ratchet or being crazy. And I also believe it has something to do with my background. I'm Nigerian. So because I'm Nigerian, we are very, very protective of our name. I know that people in different cultures have different values, but when it comes to being Nigerian, your name is your pride, is your honor, is your badge. I didn't want to go on television embarrassing myself. And all of that together, so being Christian, just converted to Christianity, believing in this opportunity, believing that I have a future from this, and also just wanting to make sure that my family's not embarrassed, all of that together made me not act a fool on television. And I was super embarrassed when me and that little girl had a physical altercation on television, but I was like, yo, she about to hit me. She about to see that I'm not just some no, I got it in me. I grew up where I needed to grow up. I'm not a punk. And I think that they really thought that she really thought she was going to try to punk me. And she thought she was going to do that, but that wasn't the case. So I'm glad that I did what I had to do. I don't promote violence whatsoever, but I think all of that together is why I lead with grace. Because I just want people to look at me and be like, yo, that girl was I'm not fake with it. I'm not trying to be overly perfect. I'm just me, and I just believe that something you got to just go on there with your head held high. His grace is sufficient, and this grace is my crown, and I'm going to walk in it. And that's what I did.
Awesome. And my last question is, how did you know to be prepared? Because that was season 1. So we all was brand new to, just the reality TV platform. Even though I know you worked in modeling in that industry before, but just the whole reality TV part of it, where you never know what's gonna happen, right?
When Thandi jumped over me, I was not expecting that, to be very honest. But that day, I kind of felt an energy because I have a strong spirit of discernment. And I told the producers that I think something's going to go down today, especially because me and her weren't talking. I think that just made everybody feel the type of way about me. And so I told the producers that day, I'm like, you know what? I don't feel comfortable today. I'm not going to wear my heels because I feel like something's going to go down. And they were like, what are you talking about? No, put on your heels, go in there, do what you usually do, you're the host. I'm like, no, something is about to go down and I feel it. So I did not put my heels on, I put my flats on. I walked in there. As soon as I walked in there, legit after 3 minutes of walking in there, she started with me. She started badgering me, she started trying to bully me, she started coming at my face. And so in me, inside myself, spiritually, I was telling myself, get ready, because I knew something was about to go down. And so the moment that I came around the bar, and the way she was yelling and screaming at me, I was like, she's going to try to fight me. And I was telling myself, get ready. So as soon as I saw her climbing, people were like, oh, why didn't you pull her legs down? I'm like, I'm not trying to kill anybody. But at the same time, my mind is still trying to process the fact that a human being is jumping over a bar. That's not normal. So like, I'm still processing it, like, what is she doing? And then the moment that I was like, it's time. This may sound crazy to you guys. Like I said, God gives me a strong spirit of discernment. As soon as I saw her climbing, I'm in my body, I tensed up, and I'm like, you have to fight. You have to fight this girl. And then that's when I just, with everything in me, I gave her everything that I had. Nobody was expecting that. And I didn't know if I won or if I lost. In my mind at that time, I wasn't thinking about none of that. My main concern was make sure you protect yourself so this girl does not scratch your face, because she is going to try to harm you. And so it wasn't until I watched the footage later on that I saw that I actually held my own. But in that moment, it was just about survival. It was just about making sure this girl did not harm me. And I believe when LP was in the back watching it go down, because I told you he planned it, when he saw that I was two-piecing her, he ran over there like freaking Superman to protect her. And so that's how it went down. But I was not expecting that, but I also kind of in my spirit felt like something was about to go down, and so I'm glad that I was ready. But yeah, so I hope that answered your question.
That did answer my question, and I'm glad she held it down. So you got to see two instances, one where you don't protect yourself, where you should have, and then you see one where she's not a fighter. She's, you know, she comes from a Nigerian background where they don't promote that at all. But she was still put in a situation where she had to hold her own down, and she did. She held it down.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
People, like I said, people still tag me in that video every 2 months. Now I laugh. I was embarrassed for quite some time. I cried about it. I was so mad about it. I prayed about it. But then eventually, like, it just started to be humorous to me. Like, I was so upset about it because it was out of my character. Even if I won, it was out of my character to do that. And it was on TV. You know, TV is receipts. So it was very, very disheartening that I had to go through that, but it was all good because I got through it, and now it's laughable. I even have the fight on my phone if you want to see it. But it's like, you know, like it's something to laugh about now. But that is all the time we have for today.
Can I say one last thing?
Yes, yes.
Yes, before we wrap up, I just want everyone to know that I love this girl, Sana, right here.
Aww.
This is like my little sister. And even though the show was like going through boot camp, like television boot camp, Sana and I both wish Anna, Fandy, and Lawrence a prosperous, if I'm saying that right, a very successful future, right? And whatever they choose and they decide to do, as well as the other cast members that was a part of the show. We are professionals, and it was a project, and we got through it. And that's all we have to say about that. Is there anything you have to say?
I would like to say that just kidding. I don't care. Whatever they got going on with their life, so be it. What they got going on has nothing to do with what we're doing. And I truly believe that God puts people where He wants them, and what is for us will be for us. What is for them will be for them. I'm never going to be the enemy of anybody's progress. That's the terminology we say in Nigeria. Don't be an enemy of progress. I will never be an enemy of anybody's progress.
I like that.
Yes, girl.
I like that.
So like whatever they got going on is whatever they got going on. I don't follow them. I don't see what they're doing. Kudos to them. But once again, thank you for WEtv and Hustle and Soul, the whole entire production team.
Big Fish Entertainment.
Yes, our cast members. Shout out to the ones we love. You know who you are. And yeah, you can catch us on social media. I'm at Sana Kibz.
And I am Candice Roach.
Why you emphasize it like that? You're crazy. But yes, we're going to have part 2 where we talk about what we have going on now. So please come back and see us. We're going to do a part 2 of what we have going on now. So yes, thank you for watching. Thank you for being a fan. Thank you for your support. Please follow us to keep up to date, and we will see you guys soon. Bye.
Bye.